Give me a second. Let me set everything up. Looks like I'm crooked for some reason. 1 second. Should be good enough. One second, guys. Just gotta make sure we are live and good and all that good stuff. Someone mentioned me in a comment. What's up? So yeah, you know how we do it. We're gonna give them like probably 60 seconds, and then after 60 seconds, we'll get this show on the road. Y'all just missed a beautiful bin opportunity. That's neg. Yeah, give me a little bit, guys. I'm setting up. Wow, this is about to get bought out. Oof. Master. That's rough. All right, guys. What's up? It's your boy, Eddie Sandler, Team 4 Team Captain, Team 4 XCPG Team Captain, coming at you live today with another Team Talk session. So, apologize for Monday. Monday was really hectic, and I finally got back home, and the internet just didn't decide to work. But the past week, I have been playtesting a certain deck, and that deck is Red Broly. The reason why I've been playtesting that Red Broly deck is because the deck is very, very dominant, right? People complain that it's linear. Yes, it is linear, but it's dominant. And it's really, really hard to stop once you get it rolling. So I bought the deck, had the deck, played it in real life, played it online, and a bunch of stuff just to see like what's going on with the deck, right? Because for some reason, that deck is just non-existent, and a lot of top-tier players just choose not to play it. I'm like, okay, let me do the research for myself. And I got the results for you guys, man. So, during my testing with Red Broly, right? The reason why I would still say it is, I don't think that deck will win an event. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. And I'll tell you straight up the reason why. It beats every single deck in this game besides the top two decks, which is weird, right? Because anything that weren't those top two decks, it just swiftly like destroyed. But I came in playtesting. Realistically, it's 3 decks, but one of those 3 is not really seen in this meta right now. The first one is Dark Broly. I play Dark Broly. I love Dark Broly. I know it's in and outs. So as I was playtesting Red Broly, I'm like, okay, cool. I can take advantage of the Dark Broly player because I know things they can and things they cannot do. So when I was playing it, it just felt unbeatable, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. Because no matter what you do for Violent Rays, it doesn't matter. As long as your opponent does, as long as the Dark Broly player sequences their stuff correctly, it's not gonna matter at the end of the day. Yes, they get set back a turn, but you're not able to put that much pressure to kill them on their crackback, right? Even if you Violent Rays after Violent Rays after Violent Rays, it felt like a losing battle, honestly. I'm like, bro, this just felt seriously pointless. And another deck I had troubles with at my locals and online was, this deck is not really running around rampant, but it's a sleeper deck. And I tell people all the time, I still think it's a meta relevant deck, but people sleep on it, is Vejex. Vejex pushed my, Vejex destroyed me. That was the worst defeat. I thought Dark Broly was impossible, but it's even worse with Vejex, because Vejex is like, you can't combo away pieces. And they force you to combo. It's like, it's either you combo pieces and you survive till next turn, or you don't combo your pieces away and the game's over and there is no next turn. So that felt pretty unbeatable as well. But the second meta relevant deck that I just could not find myself to I can beat it, but not consistently to the point where I feel comfortable to take it to a tournament with Mecha Frieza. It felt like a losing battle. That was just game one, right? Game two, when they actually put in those sideboard hate cards, it'd be even worse. So the conclusion I came with Red Broly is Red Broly, if present at a tournament, will always make it to top cut. The reason being is, as long as the field itself, it's not just consistently Mecha or Dark Broly. If it's things like King Piccolo, like Launch, like all those decks, the King Piccolo deck, it was Swift, Launch, Swift. Like it was Swift beats. Like the closest one that wasn't Swift outside those top two decks was Tricolor Launch. Because Tricolor Launch, you really had to be on your game if they charge a blue-red. But the thing is, if you do it correctly, if they charge a blue-red and don't catch a burst or they don't catch a cooler, because don't forget, you sequencing correctly Red Broly means you're effectively hitting with crit as well as hand destruction, which is hard for them to keep their hand ties on that. And Launch really, really struggles against decks that go tall, right? So that was kind of a matchup, but it was still that easy. The only decks that it was not that easy was literally, I'm telling you guys right now, Mecha Frieza and Dark Broly. It felt worse going against Dark Broly because Mecha Frieza, it prolongs the game, right? It doesn't say you're going to lose, it just prolongs the game. Whereas in your 1 and 3 drop are just susceptible to whatever they feel like playing. And they establish a poutine, yes, you'll still get your sub, but it's in rest. So it feels like you're just getting delayed. You can still play the game, but it just feels neg because you can never really combo on a card because if you do, they just final flash it and it's like, bro, it's neg. So it prolonged the game, but it felt like you're playing against essentially like Blue Trunks where you can't really hit them for crit. And if you do, it's like it's because they want to take it and they really don't care. But the one that just felt unbeatable was Dark Broly. I don't know, like when I was talking to Andrew Duvall, he said he can beat the deck. I'm like, bro, I'm telling you, I know Dark Broly inside and outside. I know everything that deck can and cannot do. And I'm telling you, sitting as a Red Broly player, as I was playing against it, having that knowledge, I'm thinking in my head, it's just not possible. And I'm sitting there still doing the correct plays and still sequencing it right. It just wasn't feasible at all. And especially when my opponent is just smart enough to say, okay, cool, attack with your thing. Violent Rage is not a card you can necessarily just depend on for Dark Broly like that. Especially when they start locking you out with Mecha Bears and they start warping your stuff on the turn that you don't Violent Rage. So it's really, really, really rough, guys. For Blue Baby, we have a question that says, would you say Red Broly? Consistently. For Blue Baby, I just didn't care. It was just swing. But I'm not going to lie. I'm the player, when I was with Red Broly, I consistently just did it with crit. Because the thing about Blue Baby, it's like, if you swung at me, I just didn't care. You could do your draw, you could do whatever you want to do. I consistently hit him with a crit. The only time Blue Baby, it's not even that it was a challenge, it's like, it got prolonged, was if you let if they catch the Baby Secret, the Baby Hatchet Secret, then it got prolonged. Because it's like, you don't really have board removal in that deck. So now you have to deal with this 40k, and it's like, bro, this is just going to be annoying. But I found the way to beat Blue Baby, at least me, I didn't straight aggro them. I just only hit them with crit, and that's how I ended up winning all the Blue Baby games. The only one that went longer than necessary, I killed him before turn 5 because I don't want to deal with apes, was going to be the, what's his face? It was going to be the Baby Hatchet Secret. If they have it on you, it just sucks. And now you're on a clock because, I'm telling you, Violent Rays, it's such a trap in that deck. And the thing is with that deck, right, it was fragile, but the way I had it built, I had a wall, right? I had both Violent Rays and both Wolfang Fists. The reason why I had both of them was because my Wolfang Fist, as long as Piccolo is on board, I can have infinite negates. I feel like I can tap out and I was safe, like literally safe. Because I had Wolfang Fist, like I said, Wolfang Fist is not once per turn as long as you have the Unison. The Unison could be at 1 or the Unison could be at infinite. Wolfang Fist would literally save you. And I had the Yamcha. So anytime a real threat would come out, I just dropped the Yamcha counterplay and then negate by 15. And anything like that was, I don't know, anything halfway decent that I know could actually put pressure on me, if my boss didn't take care of it, I will make Fist. So the way I built it, I will tell you, it was unique because I didn't have a lot of tech cards that, hey, I'm going to add to the chain and kill you. Because instead of using those flex slots to go destroy my opponent, I use them to build a wall. When I mean build a wall, I mean like build a defense. Because the biggest thing with Dark Broly was I like to take it slow And when you do take it slow, you do risk the chance of getting cracked. And when I say cracked, you get cracked hard. Because if anything like a secret identity hits the board, yes, you can reestablish it, but the tempo you just gained disappears that easily. Mafuba violent race. Alright, the thing with Mafuba, right? As long as you're awakened, it's not gonna matter. Because if you read Mafuba, as long as I'm assuming my crit, guys. So if you Mafuba 5-drop, I don't care because you just lost a card to Mafuba. The 4-drop is gonna come out, and the 4-drop is gonna go to another 5-drop. And you're gonna keep Mafuba and keep losing a card. At that time and point, I don't really care. It's just okay, whatever. Like I said, I didn't really rush to just give them cards against blue, so I don't want to play with blue like that. I just want blue to say, swing, swing. The only time I gave someone cards with blue was Trunks because it didn't matter if I give a card or not. The fact was the card was going to go to your hand, so I just swung recklessly with Trunks and just prayed to the DBS gods that they would not hit 4 off curve and then just hit me with the Gogeta on their turn. And it worked. And the ones I did get hit with the Gogeta on curve, it sucked because my hand was destroyed. But those violent rays, I just pitch them and I sat on the Wolfang Fist. The Wolfang Fist, I'm telling you, it's really, really good. People did not expect it in the main board. They expected violent rays. And one of the biggest things I forgot to tell you guys that I had when I was testing the Red Broly matchup was I only played one Planet Vampa. I know you guys are going to think I'm crazy, but I played one Planet Vampa, and the biggest thing I found was I didn't whiff. And the turns, and most of the times I had a 1-drop TP in hand, I didn't even feel like playing Vampa. Because I'm like, you have the 1-drop TP in hand, right? Now, if you play Vampa, you risk a chance of just whipping or not hitting that 1-drop TP. So, honestly, I'm not going to say I would take it out, but I would keep it at 1. And the only situation where I actually found myself using Vampa on turn 1 is if I did not catch the 1-drop TP in hand. So this 2-planet Vampa, I highly recommend all you Red Broly players to check out 1-planet Vampa, because I'm telling you, speaking of the boy, this is the boy right here, bro. This guy is absurd. When I say absurd, especially when you go against King Piccolo or Launch, like this card is absurd. The only thing I wish was that the Piccolo, the 2-drop, was 15 instead of 16. If that was 15, I guarantee you this card would be bought out, like 100% bought out. Because every single threat that was supposed to scare me, as long as I had Piccolo on board and they swung, I just said, boof, and that was it. Like point blank period, that was it. Because it was just destroyed. They couldn't continue on. But moving on to my main board, right? I had one Planet Vampa, and that one Planet Vampa, I did not miss a second one at all, and allowed me to give an extra space. I highly, highly, highly encourage all Red Broly players to try out one Planet Vampa. I'm telling you, you will not miss it. The only difference is when you're doing your mulligans, if you have a 1-drop TP in your hand, keep the 1-drop TP in your hand and play. Like I said, the only time I found myself using Planet Vampa was if I didn't have a 1-drop TP in my hand. And obviously, you want to go do that because you want a plus. And the reason why I came to this logic was when I did have Planet Vampa and I used it, it works great when you do hit the TP, because when you're following turn, you pretty much don't have to use the energy and you cheat a card out for free. But the issue I was finding, and the issue I brought it back down from 2 to 1, was that if you whiff on either of those turn 1 or turn 2, it just felt so neg. Even though the turn 2 isn't as worse because you don't tap in energy for it, but you do still have to take a life for it. And that's why I just came to the decision of playing on 1. Don't regret it. I'd keep it like that 100%. We have a question from Fells Knight. Is there a world where Dark Broly, if you attack them without quit, you can't? Because the thing with Dark Broly is, the reason why I just said I don't think Red Broly will ever win another event is because, especially if it's another thing too, right? Dark Broly in the last webcam event had zero top cut slots. 0. That was really, really shocking. But the reason why you can't really, I'm not gonna lie, bro. You can't wait till turn 4 against Dark Broly. You can stall. The thing with Red Broly is you start to get pieces on. And if you're starting to just violent raise, off rip, you're forcing yourself to have seen at least 2 to 3 super combos. Because Violent Race doesn't end the Dark Broly player's turn. They can still swing with a Mecha Bird. They can still swing with their leader. And if they start comboing on those cards, and if you do not have a super combo, you are 100% in trouble. Because if they combo correctly, and I'm not talking about 15s, I'm not talking about 20s. Once they start comboing correctly at 25s, and you start having to give 3 cards at a time, or you're taking a life, they can tell you do not have a super combo. Because the deck is very, very tight on space. And it's not something you could just, I'm going to throw this, I'm going to throw this. No, you have to run the chain. The chain is damn near, I think, 38 to 40 cards with the super combos and then the negate. It's insane. Like, the deck space in that thing was 100% insane. And the only things I would actually hold for my mulligan would be the one, I think I still have I sold the deck, but I still have the scale. Would be this. It'd literally be these bad boys, because you want to see off a 3-drop, and if I had a TP in my hand, I'd still hold on to the TP, because like I said, Planet Vampa, it was, when I use my Broly, my leader ability, okay, activate to go search an extra card, it was 100% a negate if I had the 1-drop in hand. If it was against Dark Broly, I'd get the Violent Rays. If it was against something like Mega Frieza, which is going to be annoying, whatever it is, I'd get my Wolf Fang Fist, and I get whatever I do need for that turn itself. One thing I will recommend in the sideboard, which really helped me, I had the, is that all you got? Is that all you got? Was really efficient going against those launch decks. The reason being is they have a Nappa on board, they have Trunks on board. You'll be able to pop their targets before the alliance goes off, and they won't be able to use it. So you stop the attack and you stop their alliance from triggering, because those guys are no longer on board. So this guy was always in my hand. I did not put back my Radix super combos, and I did not put back my one TP. If I had one TP in hand, I was good for the game. I didn't need Planet Vampa for the rest of the game. What do we have? What is the optimal time to microwave a grapefruit and the most real? I'm dead. I have no idea, my friend. Card Games TV. Defensive leaders help easily against aggro and Dark Broly. Look for them. Yeah, but the thing is, Red Broly is not really defensive. Red Broly has an issue being defensive, which is why I also had these my main board. I felt like if you just had 4 Violent Rays or 3 Violent Rays, you are you left yourself super vulnerable and susceptible to anything that will crack you on the crackback. And the thing was, there's only one deck that goes tall to your face, which was Red Broly. Everything else went wide. Like the Piccolo, all that good stuff was wide. This answered a lot of problem cards to the Piccolo. That's why I didn't really have issues with it. Because, and honestly, the Piccolo, I gave him cards in hand. I didn't care if it was crit or not. Because if they went first, it was game. Because they have to have 2 face-ups. So they really had problems going against Red Broly. Don't worry about crit. There's only certain matchups where I only hit with crit. Like Dark Broly, I only hit with crit. I tried Dark Broly, not only hit with crit. That was a massive failure. When you try to only hit with crit, it slows the game down. But at the end of the day, they'll still end up taking it. That's just how it was. Do you feel Mecha has a chance to top in future events? Also, thoughts on reveals for the other day? So Mecha, I feel like Mecha is primed to win an event, honestly. I don't feel like it has a chance to top. I feel like it's primed to win an event. Mecha will shut out these popular launch decks, these popular Piccolo decks. Mecha, you guys seen it. If you guys haven't seen the updated list, I highly recommend that you guys go to our channel and check out Anthony Figueroa's top 4 Mecha Frieza deck profile from the Super Players 1K. Like I said, there's probably like 1 or 2 changes I'd make to it, but his deck is it's damn near identical to what I would have, what I would have had. The only difference is I 100% have to have a Planet Vegeta in my deck, because Planet Vegeta gives you options, and main deck answers to so many shenanigans. It's not even funny. And if your opponent can't answer those shenanigans, it's going to be a problem for them first in the game. That's just game 1. So I don't feel like Mecha is just going to top. It's primed to win an event, guys. Like, win an event. No trolls. Yeah, back to Red Broly. So Mecha will always be in top cut. Ever since Mecha came out, I don't think it's missed a top cut. But Dark Broly has been in and out. And I can understand why Dark Broly has been in and out, because a lot of those cards did spike. And even though they didn't spike, the players who still have them, for some reason didn't sell it off, are having issues running into Mecha, running into Red, because of Violent Rays, because of the Vegeta Unison Furies. Guys, those decks delayed the game. They don't beat you. Like, those don't directly counter you. They delay the game. A deck that, can you say, directly counters it efficiently is probably something like Invoker, right? Because Invoker is efficiently able to Violent Raise you, to the point where when they don't have violent rates anymore, they just straight burn you from 4 to 0. But things like Mecha, things like Launch and Piccolo, they can't really do that efficiently. So let me get some water real quick. I'm like dying right now. One second. My bad. Yeah, my throat is dry, boys. Where were we at? I think we're on Mecha. No, not that. Dark Broly. The only matches you'll sit as a Dark Broly player and say, yo, this is just gonna be neg if it's the mirror match. The mirror match is neg, boys. As much as you love to swing on your opponent and say, okay, cool, I swing for 30k combo, they say on the gates, and you just sit back, take your sprite, and you're like, no combos, B, that's all I got. Is as much as you're gonna hate when that happens to you. It's really, really annoying. And then you understand how your opponent feels. But if it's not the mirror match, you're honestly in a driver's seat. There are some matches, game one, it is unfortunate for you. You can still win, but you have to pull out some magic from your you know what. The game 2 and 3, you have the answers in your sideboard. But I wouldn't say there's one deck in the format that directly counters Dark Broly. And I've been playing Dark Broly for a minute. I've been playing Dark Broly ever since I won the event with Vegex. I left Vegex and I just jumped on Dark Broly. I told the team, I'm like, bro, Dark Broly is insane. That's how good it is. Would you say Vegex in best of 3 format can easily deal with Red Broly? 100%. Vegex in best of 3 format can deal with all 3 decks, with the only exception being Dark Broly. Dark Broly, you're on a clock. And I played this in that matchup. Dark Broly, you have like about 3 turns max to beat Dark Broly as a Vegex player. If you are playing the chain, you have a higher percentage of winning. Dark Broly really cannot deal with the Vegex chain as well as your free pieces, but the build that I have does not have the chain. So if you're playing a build similar to mine, you have, I'd say, 3 turns max before Dark Broly starts winning. And the reason being, I'll explain that matchup, right? Because a lot of players don't understand what I'm talking about when I say you have 3 turns max. As a Vegex player, going first or second, it doesn't matter, honestly, against Dark Broly. The reason being is, as soon as you mill, as long as you're able to hit a Vegeta and a Unison, you're in the driver's seat. I'm going to tell you why. Because you'll attack with your leader. Your leader is the only time it gets iffy. Because if you attack with your leader and they out-combo it, now you have to play a 1-drop. The key thing about Vegex playing against Dark Broly is that you have to put 3 damage on them, guaranteed on your very first turn. So if your turn 0 and they go, your next turn you have to put 3 damage. The reason being is, once Dark Broly's at 3, they're instantly going to go to 4 themselves. And with them going, the reason why they have to go to 4 is because they know, hey, if I don't take my life, next turn, I'm probably going to end up taking it, plus awakening, so it's going to be neg. So right now, I might as well take my life, go to 4, attack, draw 2, or draw 3, and then use my ability to warp from warp to drop and all that good stuff. So this is how you beat the deck. As Vegex, you guarantee you put 3 damage on, you'll force the awaken on their turn. Now the reason why you win is they don't have time to look at the top 5 and then put 3 in their drop like that. That's why I told you it doesn't matter if you're going first or if you're going second, right? Because if they're turn 0 and then you're going second because you're also Dairo, if they don't hit 3 out of there, even if they do hit 3 out of there, it's it. That's all they could get. Their next turn, they can start off with 6 and that's it. That's the best possible scenario for a Dark Broly player. Against other decks, they're able to just take life and build that drop and build that drop and build that drop, and then finally awaken. Against something like Vegex, you have 1 turn, like literally 1 turn. That's it. And then that's not even including overwhelm. So literally, if you're Vegex and then they're going first because you lose a Dairo, You could swing with leader, that's 1 damage. Swing with unison, that's 2 damage. Swing with your Vegeta, that's 3 damage. You could put a 1-drop on board, that's 4 damage. You can overwhelm, and if you saw the deck profile, we are playing the SS4 Bardock, and I'm guaranteed you're gonna awaken because they're not gonna want to say to 3. They're not gonna say to 3 to 2 life against Vegex at all. That's just suicide, and that's just not really smart for them to do. So that's how you beat that matchup. But the issue about it, and I'm gonna tell you why I say they have up to 3 turns, is because once you start applying all that pressure, you're giving them a massive hand, right? And with that massive hand, they're going to start comboing off for 0.5k because they're all going to be 30ks. They're going to be 0.5k, 0.5k, 0.5k. And then now them surviving your onslaught is going to manually fuel up their drop, which you took away from them earlier because you just aggroed them. They weren't just freely able to put 3 and drop. But now that you're just attacking, and now obviously they have to survive, that hand is not going to the drop. And for them, that's a resource. So once they get to about to turn 3, it's going to start to stabilize. Because you're like, okay, cool. Now my drop is damn near 7 to 10 cards. It's Gucci for me because my leader could put back 3. I have Gravies could put back 2. And it's going to keep going on and on and on from there. And then now, as Vegex, you got to sit back because probably going to be a blocker. But the other guys are going to start swinging at you. 30k. You're 100% going to be self-awakening because that's what you want to do. You want to set 4 alive. So now either your super combos are going to be gone or your hands are going to be gone. Because they're going to swing at you 30. No negates. If they're smart, put it at 35 and then watch you try to just pull something out your butt. Because at that time and point, you have to give them 2 super combos plus 1 or at least 1 Majin Buu Human extinction attack plus another super combo, which is going to start being neg for you. So let's catch up on some more questions in the comment section. Gotta add more triple strike. Bro, I wish there was a way to give something triple strike. I really do. They be broken, like broken. What else can we talk about, guys? Let me know your thoughts, comments, and concerns. So I felt like I hit up everything for Red Broly. The deck is prime. The deck it'll be in top cut. I guarantee if Justin is playing it, he's gonna be in top cut. If Andrew's playing, they'll be in top cut. Their issue will be, it's like when Andrew, right? He went undefeated throughout the the webcam event number 2 and only lost to Dark Broly. That matchup it's rough, man. It's rough because you have to think about it this way. There was one fluke card that happened that people didn't know about, which was Food of Dark Banish, right? As a Dark Broly player, the only deck that has a possibility, the uniquest possibility of running it is probably Blue Baby and it's probably Mecha Freeze. The only 2 decks. So game 1, you're naturally just SOL because you're not gonna have the answer. But game 2, you should have Petrification. And if you don't have Petrification in your sideboard, you deserve to lose against Banisher Fu. Because you gotta understand, they're going to drop that Banisher Fu on their turn 4. Because that's when they're gonna try to accelerate the game and beat you. Because they understand, hey, as a Dark Broly player, if they're under 4 life, it's gonna be a game. So I have 3 attacks, and each time I use their leader ability, and they have to give me 1 plus a combo, 1 plus a combo. So realistically, if you're giving a 5k, you're gonna lose 10k in combo because you have to give 1 to get 5k. You have to give another one to get another 5k, and it just keeps building and building and building. So as a Dark Broly player, you should at least have one petrification. If you don't have space, at least 1. I'd recommend 1 to 2, but at least 1 specifically if you know they could run Banisher Fu, because Banisher Fu will destroy you. At least if you petrification it, you'll stop it from swinging 3 times. And the reason why I say that, if you know it's coming as well, make sure you clear your board, because by the time they do it, you want to only be able to deal with their leader and their Fu. Because now they're swing with their leader or their whatever it is, and you use petrification on Fu. Fu can't swing anymore. So now all you have to worry about is a leader attack. And as long as you stay as a healthy life, like around 4, you'll be good to go. So that's how you answer the Food of Banisher. Has your team tested hard hand destruction? It's funny you say that, fellas, night, because I'm actually building a hand destruction deck right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. I asked my group chat if they had any Zarbons because I see the it's not champ pack, but the alternate art Zarbon. I said it was like 5 and change. So I was like, bro, who has Zarbon? I'll give you 20 for a playset. But I'm actually building a hand destruction deck. I'll probably take it to the final webcam event because I haven't played. I'm still in second place in the leaderboards, but I see some people are like trying to catch up to me. So I'll probably play that hand destruction deck and just slide back up and see what's. I don't think I can catch Legends because Legends, yeah, he played way too many events. I don't think I can catch him, but I can distance myself and have a cozy second place win. So, but yeah, hand destruction, I have you on that. The OG top 3 decks you see winning this weekend. Is it event, or if you're talking about like the next like event, or are you talking about Miami? If you're talking about the webcam event, well, the webcam event in Miami are probably the same thing. I would say the highly represented decks would be not that they're the best, but the most represented would be Mecha, Dark Broly, and it'd be a combination of red. When I say combination of red, I'm talking about King Piccolo and Launch. I don't think King Piccolo or Launch will win the event. I 100% know they won't win the event because Mecha Frieza shuts both those decks down. That's why I just don't see him winning an event at all. But I can see Mecha Frieza winning the entire event, or Dark Broly, or Vegex. Because Vegex is another slept on deck. People fail to realize King Piccolo doesn't have outs to the Vegex main deck floodgates. Launch does. It gets annoying when you're going against Launch. Tricolor Launch is specifically Tricolor Launch presents a problem for Vegex, and I saw that. But it does not present a problem to Vegex if it's just the red-green. If it's just red-green, you should be good to go. Yeah, King Piccolo doesn't have outs to it. King Piccolo really struggles against Vegex, but people don't play Vegex. That's why I don't mention it anymore. Shinron, which Grandmaster gives you triple strike? Oh, yeah, that is true. But that's way too expensive to get that bad boy out. And not efficient. Did you try Mecha Cabrera and Red Broly? You can't tap 2. That's the thing about Mecha Cabrera. And not Mecha Cabrera, but Red Broly. Red Broly, you need your energy to do certain plays. Yes, you can use Mecha Cabrera, right? And you say 6-drop Broly. But what happens if they have 2 6-drop Brolys on board already? It's not going to stop the attack. So now you're leaving 3 energy and you're not playing your turn because you would need 2 for Mecha Cabrera and you need 1 for Violent Rays, right? See what I'm talking about? How non-efficient it is? Because you just lost 3 cards and you even shut down their turn because they could just attack with a 6-drop. You lost 1 card because you used Mecha Cabrera, you called Dark Broly 6. You lost 1 card off that. They attack with their 6-drop Broly. That's correct play to do. Now you're using Violent Rays and you're pitching other cards. You just lost 3 cards and they still can play out their entire deck, and it's not funny. And now they could just say, okay, cool. You got 1 or 2 life because you only have 2 cards in hand, so 3 to 4 cards in hand. Let's say something like that because you just lost 3 off rip. Play 1 drop from drop, use a ball from hand, and bring out 7-drop Broly and swing for 30k. You have no balls, you have nothing. It's whatever it is. And even if they can't swing for 30k, they just have it on board. It gets really, really bad, man. It's not a matchup it's flavored for Red Broly at all, no matter how you put it. I feel like hand destruction only struggles against hyper aggro decks like Vegex, but Red Broly, Invoker, and Mecha are. I wouldn't say Mecha is an easy matchup for hand destruction because don't forget that Unite Assemble draws 1, 2, 3 cards. Technically, it could draw 4 cards. The Unite Assemble could draw 4 cards, and then they could attack and draw the 5th card. Yeah, I wouldn't by any way, shape, and form say hand destruction is favored against Mecha Frieza, but I can say that against Red Broly. Red Broly's gonna get smacked. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I don't know an efficient hand destruction deck besides 1 that can stay with Red Broly. Invoker, don't forget, it's kind of hard to hand destruction Invoker as well, as long as they're wearing this together. So once they catch that card and they start looping it on you, it's going to be really tough to kill them with hand destruction. But I switch. Hand destruction, it's when you see my deck for the webcam event, you're gonna laugh. It is hand destruction, but it's some jank, boys. Like, it's some jank. You guys, I'm just gonna leave like that. It's some jank. You guys are like, what the hell is this, man? Like, it's just some jank. That's the best way I could put it. I used to play OG Slug, but OG Slug, man, you probably get it right. I'm not gonna lie. It's rough. I love OG Slug, but it's a really, really rough situation for it right now. So we talked about Red Broly, the pros, the cons. Talked about Dark Broly. We talked about Vegeks, damage output and burn should be the goal when playing. I mean, yeah, if you're Invoker, then you're good to go. And I'm trying to think what other meta relevant stuff. So I know there's a lot of hype behind Red, specifically King Piccolo and launch. All I'm going to tell you guys is to read those cards, because sometimes players are doing things that the card does not do. There might be a miscommunication or a misread. But like, there's a launch, I believe it's the SR. People are comboing it and making things 10k or 1,000 is 1k. It's not like that, guys. You have to have it on board. It's an auto, so that has to be on board. Piccolo, you really want to read those cards, guys. Like, a lot of people, I've been seeing it a lot. I haven't been saying anything, but a lot of people are assuming those decks are really, really good because they're doing the effects that are not necessarily legal. Like, the way they're doing it, it's not legal at all. So make sure you read those cards and understand them. And even if you don't play them, make sure you read those cards, so when your opponent does do those things on you, you can say, that's what Eddie was talking about. Like, that's not how it works, my guy. And you sit them down and you explain it to him. And you're like, yeah, I'm sorry, it's just not how it works. Bring back Surge Piccolo. They can't do that, man. That deck is too broken. Bro, I would take Surge Piccolo versus anything. I would take Surge Piccolo versus Red Broly, honestly. There's not a deck, I think, that'll come close in its prime to beating Surge Piccolo. Not even Storm, not anything. Because the best deck, in my opinion, ever made, not including Surge Piccolo, would probably be an unlimited Vegeks. That'd probably be the closest thing. And it's not because everything is free. It's only because if you don't hit a Bibbidi, you're at lethal 10 out of 10 times. Because as long as you go to 1 or you go to 2, there's not really a blue or green extra card or card period that says you only take 1 life for like a brainwash. So if they swinging it a double strike and they just drop 1 Bibbidi, yeah, that's going to be game B. But other than that, Surge Piccolo is too busted. I don't think that thing's ever come back. Do I think that leader deserves to draw one when he attacks? 100%. But that leader was super broken. Alright. I don't see any more questions. I'm going to give closing statements. But if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, I'll catch them in the comments before I log off, and I will address them. Closing comments is, I found the issue with Red Broly. It really does struggle against only Mecha and only Dark Broly. Like, Mecha, it slows it down. Dark Broly is just unbearable. Like, you literally feel like quitting in like, just, I don't know, it's just rough. You feel like doing that Titanic picture because you just spent all this money and it feels like there's not one card in your deck that can help you through the situation at all. It just feels like you're fighting a losing battle. And it's not even that you'll be lucky enough to get a win. Because no matter what they do, they can misplay and still beat you. That's how rough that matchup is. What else we got? Besides that, I have Red Broly really solid in the meta. Against anything. As long as it dodges those 2 decks and the underrated Vegeks, in my opinion, it should be good to go. We have, let's see. How many Negates should a deck have or across the colors, in your opinion? It all depends. I feel like Red is very lucky. And I feel if you're playing Red, you should have both Violent Rays and you should have this in your deck. Because the games that Violent Rays don't really matter, you charge them. and these cause 0 energy, and these literally hit every single card in the game but Unisons. Even leaders, you can make a leader 0k combo. 0k base just off of this. So for red, you can go to about 6, 7 in my opinion, because if you have 3 Violent Rays, they're gonna come up at some time and point. If they don't, it's just free energy. But these, you can go 3 to 4 in my opinion, because as long as you have a Unison and you're able to protect your Unison, these cost 0 energy. So not only are these energy, but these cost 0 energy to play. So these are really, really good, guys. That's one of the reasons why I picked the dark red bro, because I felt like I could find a glitch. And even though I did find a glitch with this, I'm telling you, those 2 matches were unbearable to play. Oh man, I love how Eddie. Oh yeah, the captain, yeah. No, I just got here. I have a quick question. I'm playing Red Broly. Can you give us a deck profile? I can. I had the deck. It's gonna have to be on computer. Probably Discord. I could probably leave it up sometime during the week or on Friday's Team Talk session. I'll show you guys the build that I was playing. And like I said, it's really, really good. I 100% recommend to all players to put Planet Vampa at 1. At one, guys. 1. Literally 1. You don't need 2. If you see a TP in your hand, you hold on to the TP. If you don't have a TP in your opening hand, but you have the 1 Planet Vampa, ding, 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 you hold on to the Planet Vampa. And the reason being, if you're going against Dark Broly or anything that swings tall, you use your leader, you search the Violent Rays. If you're using anything if you're going against like a King Piccolo that you know you're going to swing for 15s, you grab this bad boy. Because if you know you're going to grab this bad boy, because the matchup is what it is, you're also going to hold on to your Piccolo Unisons in your hand. And you already want to see your Piccolo Unisons in your hand. Like I said, my mulligans, when I was playing Red Broly, I always had this in my hand. This guy is like a lifesaver. This guy finds everything you need to turn your Unison to your Brolys. This guy was gotcha in my hand. After this, it was usually if I got the 1 Vampa. If I didn't get the 1 Vampa or a TP, then obviously you have to go search the 1 Vampa from your deck. But it was rarely where you didn't see a TP in your hand, opening hand, especially after mulling. It's rarely that happened. I held on to all my super combos. I'll give a deck profile as well as a analysis on everything I did. Like I said, I felt the deck is really, really unbeatable. I think the deck is unfair, dude. Like, if you're not playing against Mecha Frieza or Dark Broly, that's why, in my opinion, I don't think anything should get banned from it. Because as bad as it wrecks every single deck in I'm talking about not beat, it 100% wrecks every single deck in this game, besides probably 3 decks that I went against. Dark Broly, Regex, and Mecha. It got destroyed. It was the complete opposite when you go against those decks. Mecha, not so much. It felt like Mecha just prolonged the game, and you would eventually lose because they would just have more resources than you. But when you went against, as a Red Broly player, when you go against Regex and Dark Broly, it just, bro, it feels really, really unbearable. Like 100% unbearable to play because it doesn't feel winnable at all. Let's see. Let me put these back. What do we have? They put a deck profile. What if we have the complete core, no Violent Rays, and Broly? Can we use it? Honestly speaking, I'm not gonna lie to you. If I was to play that deck, I would just take the L. I would have to like, I ain't gonna lie. Instead of Violent Rays, if I were to rebuild that deck, I would probably, Violent Rays would come in clutch in a mirror match. But I never faced a mirror match. When a mirror match, the reason why it comes clutch is because when they ulti their Piccolo Unison, you'll be able to stop their entire, like, they couldn't attack. The only thing they could attack you would be their Unison, and would be their leader. Their guys just literally, they could not attack at all. And it'd just be stunned. In the scenario like this, yeah, it would be good. But against Dark Broly, Violent Rays was so underwhelming. If you don't have Violent Rays, I'd say go ahead and play the deck. But you do have to have your 4 Piccolos. You have to have your Fiddler's Pan. You have to have all the other stuff. But if you didn't have Violent Rays and you have access to this, I'd say you'd still be good to go. I'm not going to lie to you. Violent Rays was really underwhelming against Dark Broly whatsoever. Because it's not a deck where it's like, okay, cool, I can just give you Violent Rays in 1 card. you already struggled. You're giving away pieces. You're not giving away a card. You're giving away a piece that you need. So it's really, really rough. Let me see. Just an idea for hand control. Let me see what you have. Android 13. Nah, I'm not using Android 13. Yeah, I'm not using Android 13. But yeah, I seen a lot of Android 13 builds when not recently, like when it first came out, the very first come out. I seen a lot of Android 13 builds. I feel attack. I played 4. Guess you mean Violent Race? Yeah, you don't really need Violent Race. I feel like Brock Lesnar when I used to play Red Broly. Yes, I did too. Like I felt undefeated. Like I felt I couldn't lose a game until you went against Mecha or Dark Broly. Then it felt like I was human again. I'm not gonna lie to you. But again, like King Piccolo was the freest of free. Especially if they win a die roll, because they have to have 2 face up in order to awaken on their efficient way of awakening and getting up. But yeah, everything felt really good. The only outside factor I'll tell you again is tricolor launch. You have to be very, very careful, because tricolor launch will destroy your battle card when you're going for a game. So when you're going for a game, usually you want to swing with a unison, because I do play the chop up, usually with a unison or usually with a leader to guarantee that it stays alive. So my boy said piano looks like Billy Joel. You snap, my friend. But yeah, I think I hit all of the questions in today's stuff. So what colors does sequencing matter the most against? In my opinion, the most deck, or the deck that suffers the most from improper sequencing would be black, specifically Dark Broly, but black in general. If you're playing, yeah, I wouldn't say Dark Broly in general, black in general, because if you're realistically speaking, Vegex is even worse than Dark Broly if you miss sequence. Because if you miss sequence with Vegex, you're just asshole. There is no recovery from Vegex if you miss sequence. Dark Broly, you can kind of recover because it allows a lot of free plays. Because you could miss sequence, but you can still use abilities like Ravager, like Berserker. There's still things you can do. If you miss sequence with Vegex, there is no, oh, okay, cool, you got me, I'm just going to still do this. Like, no, it's usually going to end your turn. You can miss sequence with Dark Broly and your turn's not over. Unless obviously you attack with your leader first and you have nothing else to attack with because they violent raise you. That's pretty bad too. But even though it's pretty bad, you can still misplay by attacking with your leader first and get neg, but you can still bring out a Ravager, and Ravager will rip a 3rd card from their hand. You see what I'm saying? So you can still do plays after that. Not saying that's correct and not justifying the misplay, because 100% you want to sequence correctly. But Vegex, let's say you attack your leader first and you attack into a Nimbus. Oh man, let me show you how it goes down here. Let's say you go Spectre Freezer, right? Use Vegex, you attack with your leader. They Nimbus you. Now their Nimbus, their leader ability kicks off. They rest one of your battle cards. Now Bergamo comes into play and rest your energy cards. So the only thing you have left is just your unison swing. And it's like, bro, what just happened? You see what I'm saying? Like, you really will get punished. There's no comeback from that whatsoever. So specifically black, you have to sequence your stuff. I wouldn't say red, because red has a lot of free play stuff. And yes, there's turns you want to pop off. Yes, there's turns you want to hold back because you're not guaranteed to win. But red is not really sequential. Green, there's not really much green going on, but all the green things are cookie cutter right now. Yellow with Mecha, it's cookie cutter too. It's hard to misplay. Like your turn 1, obviously you want to see your U9, you want to keep spamming your U9. Your turn 2, establish your unison depending on what match you're going against and stuff like that. So sequencing, highly, highly, highly important in the game in overall, but specifically for black decks, because you will get destroyed. Yeah. So that was the last question. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will join us again on Friday. We have some new members to the team, by the way. We added them today, so I'll see if they're free to join us on Friday. It's 3 new members. Yeah, that's it. I have all the announcements. The leaderboards are out. The invite list is updated. And yeah, see you guys on Friday, my friends.